publisher to handle it. So obviously everything in our world is changing. And talk about, blow a little smoke in my direction and say how important it is bookstores still are and traditional publishers still are.
Absolutely, yes. You're right, I could have, I'm extremely fortunate I've been very fortunate materially because of Harry Potter. I could have self-published. It never crossed my mind to do it, never crossed my mind. I value so much what a traditional publishing house does. For a variety of reasons. I think that the great editors, the great designers and so on, all of the skills that you need in producing a good book, that talent is still within traditional publishing houses, and those are the people I would like to work with. There's also a real romance for me, if I'm honest, in being part of a family of writers, and we're together under one imprint, and I've always loved that. Pottermore is different. It's been fabulous. It was a special case. I saw a possibility of giving a really high quality product across loads of territories. And the books are already out there, and it was just a different scenario. And I think that, and I'm proud of what we've done there, and I think that we are continuing to foster that reading experience, but for the Casual Vacancy, it never crossed my mind to do it any way other than traditionally. And as far as bookshops are concerned, yeah, I have to take, we had quite a long conversation backstage about Anne's bookstore, and I was saying, it's such an amazing thing to do, what a great thing you did, maybe I should do that. And my husband, the moment you left the dressing room, my husband said, do not open a bookshop.
I'll be in touch.
Yeah, he was really worried about my enthusiasm. Like we haven't got enough going on, don't open it. So,
but they are important and
hugely important. And I've watched bookstores close with a really heavy heart.
And for how long I've been going to bookstores on tour, and people have said to me, there's a new Harry Potter book coming out, we're going to be okay. We're going to make our numbers. And it's true. You have the jobs you have created, the businesses you've kept afloat, astonishing. Backing up for just a second, who reads for you? And when do you let someone read your work, and how much of their advice do you take?
With Potter, no one ever read a thing before my editors saw it.
And it was finished before they saw it?
Including my editors. I never let anyone see anything.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, is that weird?
It's actually, I think it's really a great thing.
You know, I find that discussing an idea before I've written it is often the way to kill it stone dead. And I remember I told one person outside my family what the fundamental idea for this book was, and the look on his face was, you're writing what? So fortunately for me, because I have loved writing this book, I didn't go home and cry and think, oh, I've got a bad idea that I'm going to do something else. But it was a salutary reminder as to why I don't discuss things so much.
You know, they all sound like terrible
They
books.
all sound rubbish.
They're awful. When I tell someone the plot of something I haven't written and I'm thinking, oh, that sounds... I
read this biography of Agatha Christie, and she described how with her first husband, and I can see why they didn't stay together, she used to say to him, I'm thinking of this plot, and he would say things like, it doesn't sound like it's got much to it. Which is not what you say, okay? The writer says to you, I've got this great idea for 2 frogs sitting in a bucket. You say, that sounds very interesting. So don't crush them, we are thin-skinned people.
Does your husband read your books? I mean, obviously he reads, but does he?
No, I find it very restful. He's illiterate. It's a huge respite.
Does he participate? Does he give you
on this book, and it was the first time I've ever done this. He read this as I was writing, and it was actually great. I should do that more often.
Well, you know, it's a different time. There is a difference.
It is, and he was useful. Unlike Agatha Christie's ex, yes. Yeah.
My husband always says he loves me for me and everyone else can love me for the books. And he has no interest in the books. That's maybe a little too much information.
Well, do you know what?
But it's better.
Sometimes it's really nice to close. When I was doing Potter,
yes,
he was the one person I could rely on not to ask me why Harry had the Marauders rat back with him in Order of the Phoenix when it had been confiscated in Goblet of Fire. Neil was the one who was so restful. Not to have that, you know, to have a space where no one asked me those questions.
Do you take editing well if someone gives you a bunch of notes?
Yeah, I think I do. I've never hit anyone. Maybe setting the bar a little lower, but no, I really do. I love that relationship. I enjoy editing. I enjoy working with someone. And because I normally have finished before the editor ever sees it, it's very exciting. They're normally my first reader, so I love those conversations.
For me, it's like having dessert after the meal.
Yeah.
Just you finish, and also selling a book once it's finished, as opposed to selling it before you started.
Exactly.
I would kill myself.
Yeah,
and on that note,
you're
going to read now.
I am going to.
And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, this is a fantastic